January 30th to February 1st at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
This is Bigger Than the Score with Peter Ferguson on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, good morning and welcome to 93.7 The Ticket, Bigger Than the Score. This is Peter Ferguson with Peter Ferguson BHS LLC, and joined as always on the ones and twos with Harrison as we roll into February 2nd. Hard to believe that we're outside, and I almost thought about wearing shorts in here this morning.
Yeah, it's I'm just gonna knock on wood now. It's been absolutely fantastic. I don't know what the drought weather's looking like. I don't know if we need snow, but I know I'm pretty good with it.
Yeah, I mean, we had a little. I mean, the driveway was wet when I came out this week. I can't remember. I want to say Thursday or so. And I think we could probably use a little bit of, I know for our agriculture and our farmers and everything could use a little bit of rain, but it has just definitely been one of those mild things, like you said, knock on wood. But I think, what is it? February is usually one of the coldest, snowiest months that we have in Nebraska.
Yeah. And it's February 2nd. So
okay.
I got to pause a little bit. It'll come around the corner, I'm sure, but I'm going to take advantage of it right now. You can see it. Encourage anybody come down here, 1040 O Street, go get a coffee at the mill. You meet some of the talent. We'll be here. A lot of talent be here all day long, and it's beautiful outside. Good day to go ahead and walk down here and meet some of us.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, it's a great day. Yet, I don't say a newbie. She says she's usually from the Calvert mill, and so she said she's really enjoyed seeing people. And DP's here, and like I said, Harrison. You got a lot of other individuals. So good lineup of shows on this Sunday. Don't have any NFL. If you what's on this morning, I woke up and the Pro Bowl stuff was on, that they were doing the flag football. I say flag. I think they do. No, it is now flag. It is not. It's flag. It's not tackle anymore. And then the quarterback contest and those things. So
I'll be honest, I didn't even watch it. It's getting that bad now. Do you enjoy it?
I don't. I mean, like, I like looking at the games because working sometimes with young people, it gives me some ideas for some things to do. So they had the big hands, so like the little fist that we've got here that you can see.
Jefferson doing that one.
Like you had to catch with both hands, and so it does show like really some of the skills that I think you kind of just take for granted. Of like, man, that's just not normal. Like, you do have to. I mean, even the worst quarterback that's rated has a skill set that like 99.9% of us will never achieve.
Well, you saw that with Joe Burrow in his competition.
Yeah.
The throwing. I mean, he was just throwing lasers
he
out
like
there.
50 something. And it was just
like, okay, you are what everybody says you are. Like his accuracy is insane.
Well, not even working up a sweat. And then you had, Level Up, I call him, the Sierra's husband, the Steelers quarterback.
Oh, now you're killing me. Not Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson. That's terrible. It's like, here I am, like referencing him by his wife, like it's his kid. It's like, oh yeah, you're Jaden Ferguson's dad instead of like, whatever. But Russell Wilson was out there, and he was just like, and you're like, people are giving him like, man, he needs to leave and he needs to retire, and you're like, man, that's kind of special, like what you're doing. And then you're like, you go back to Wisconsin, it's like, and your size and your physically, like nobody out there looks like they're out of shape too, been out of the playoffs for 4 weeks. And so it was kind of, like I said, so no, it's not something that's like must see TV, but it just kind of was like, okay, this is kind of cool to see the skill set.
Yeah. They're kind of in the same realm of the NBA. It's like, how creative can you get here?
Yeah.
Because clearly we can all like, pound our fist on the table and say, we want these guys tackling.
Right.
They're just not going to do that anymore. Like there's so much money on the line. Those guys aren't going to want to do it. The owners aren't going to want to risk it either.
No.
So we'll never be able to go back to that. And with the NBA, that's a tricky one. I don't know how you guys could get to compete in that all-star game.
I think, again, it's, do people value the skills, or do people like sit back and look back on what it was in 1980 and 1990? Nobody's going to let a Dennis Rodman or a Bill Laimbeer go ahead and clothesline you at an all-star game, and then you're not going to be able to reach the max. So, a lot going on. Again, always kind of the height of the season, that transition of different things. So that's always kind of cool in a lot of ways. Around the area, you got a lot of the conference, but also, I don't want to say seasonal, conference championships, sub-districts, depending on kind of what class you're on. It was a new format with the hack tournament. So they had the high school hack for Lincoln hack tournament there, the one of the conferences that exists in Lincoln. It used to be over the holidays. They moved that to kind of, I would say, 2/3 way through the season. I think there's some different thoughts on that, in regards to what that looks like. I'm a holiday tournament type person. I think that's kind of this rite of tradition, but there was some scheduling and reasons. But last night, Lincoln Northeast won the boys side of that, and it was from I didn't go, but saw it was a phenomenal game, a full house, and it was played at North Star. So it was kind of always nice when you have the home school, North Star and Northeast in it. Kind of went down to the wire. And then you had the girls side, Lincoln Southwest, and then also Lincoln North Star, probably two of the top, programs in the city, if not, kind of vying for that title in the state. And the North Star girls handled business there with a win. So, great to see that in full swing. You got a lot of other things. You got swimming, you got wrestling, boys and girls, and we'll have some females on here in the coming months, but really cool to see just the excitement in regards to that. And then just at the middle and the elementary school level, some of those other things going on. You're seeing just different competitions, the music, the one acts, and the plays are starting to get, all revved up, auditions from the Lincoln Community Playhouse to all the schools. So like, you're going across the city, across the, the area, across the state. And if you go into school buildings, public, parochial, whatever, like there's not a space that's not having activity. And I think that's what February kind of brings after that holidays, and just, individuals are engaging, they're busy. College, if that kind of senioritis hits in, but also that senior reality. And so I'm kind of curious with you, like, when did that hit for you? That like, okay, you were getting ready to massively in high school be done with school, or just like you were a sophomore or a junior and it's like, okay, summer's hitting. When did it kind of hit like school's cool, but like, hey, it's kind of the home stretch?
I'd say it was probably like heading into that senior year, because I remember that junior summer, because Hartington, small town, 1,600 town population, my class size was 40. The class was a little bit smaller, so our two classes really tight.
Okay.
The senior and junior class, like the guys always hung out. So when those guys graduated, that's kind of when it hit me, because like that's half of my friends are now.
Okay.
Oh, they're locked in. They're talking about school and college, and I'm like,
they're leaving me behind.
Yeah, and then I'm like, wait, I got to figure out what I'm going to do, because half of my friends are going to college or down there in Lincoln, and I end up following a lot of them. But nonetheless, that's definitely what hit for me. Otherwise, I was definitely did not cross my mind. Probably a little bit too late. What about you?
I think it was kind of that time, probably the February. depending on how, your basketball season was going, school, like if you were kind of ready to transition to that next thing, you're starting that conversation about college, if it was college or what you're doing after. Like there were those conversations of this is what I'm doing after, or this is what I'm not doing, or I don't know. So that February time frame, once it hit spring break, it was kind of like, I don't say doomsday, but it was, okay, dude, you
need some answers for what you're planning.
Yeah. Or I got to figure this out because I got to get some grades in this class, or that last ditch at the ACT of like, okay, if you get 4 more points, 4.
I'll tell you what.
The 26 I got the first time was tough.
I'm so glad to be done with the stress of that. I remember taking it the first time.
Oh my.
And the saying with the ACT is like the second time you take it, on average, it's like 2 points better.
Yeah.
So the first time I take it, like I'm pumped. I thought I got a really good score for what I was heading into. It exceeded what I thought I was going to do. And then I was like, well, let's go take it a second time. Second time I did 3 points worse. And I'm like, we'll lock in. Number one, I was scared to take it that third time because it was so demoralizing. But that stretch right there, that should have really been the answer. That ACT is when it really sets into reality of like, okay, I'm working for myself now. I'm setting myself up. Nobody else is. So that definitely hit.
I'll have to share my ACT story with you at another time. It involves that and some other components. And so, but I think that's a great kind of segue. And again, a couple other things we got going on this week. We have at Lincoln Public School the African American Read-In on Wednesday, and really excited about that. 12 to 1 if you're available, open to the public. Got a variety of phenomenal readers. We got individuals from Atlanta. We've got young people from Belmont to Addison Olds, who's been on the show. 93.7 Tickets always been very supportive of that, and so I want to thank them. And then just our guests last week, Thea and Monty. When we asked Thea the question about herself, and she just goes, "I'm a champion." I'm going to be gone at the end of this month or the beginning of next month, and I'm going to have her host the show because hands down, she's just like, dude, I got this.
She was sweating less. She didn't sweat at all, actually. And like the first time I remember speaking on air, and DP even gave me a softball. He's like, let's talk NBA. I know you watched that, and I could muster out like one sentence and I lost my breath. So again, shout out to all the scholars you bring on here. I'm always impressed by just the composure they have to even sit in there and answer not just continuous questions. And it's always, we say it all the time, they give a lot of good insight despite their youth. It's always something where it's good to have those guys have a good voice.
Well, we've got 2 today, and since we're talking about ACT, Austin and Pay, we're going to go ahead and give them a question that might show up on your ACT, SAT, your postgraduate test, whatever that looks like. And so my question to you is, what is an item that doesn't need to be refrigerated but always ends up in the refrigerator? So an item that doesn't need to be refrigerated but always seems to end up in the refrigerator to you. So Peyton, we're going to go ahead and start with you. Go ahead. What do you think? And then we'll have you introduce yourself. I'm going to have you step up that mic just a little bit. There you go.
Probably butter.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, we always have a butter dish, and the room temperature butter.
Okay.
But I mean, you always see it in the fridge.
Okay. So that's something that happens at your place? The butter ends up in the fridge? Okay. What about you, sir? Right? Gotta know what you got. Something that ends up, and it doesn't have to be your house if you don't want to incriminate the home front.
I was thinking hot sauce just because like what the name is, and it's kind of counterproductive. It feels like to make it cold because it's supposed to be hot. That's just what came to my mind when you first asked that question.
Austin throwing it down. That's some Harvard level stuff right there. Let's go ahead and make it happen. We got Ivy League people in the space. Who needs those other questions, 2 + 2 and those other equations? Well, hey, we've got 2 scholars here. I kind of teased on when I released it out that we were going to go for a strike today. And that theme carries over because they're both bowlers. They'll tell you a little bit more about that. But hey, Austin, first off, just kind of introduce yourself. Tell us who you are. Have you always lived in Lincoln? And if you have, or if you haven't, where have you gone to school? And then we'll ask you about your family.
I'm Austin Hilgren. I'm a junior at Lincoln Northwest. I'm a member of the bowling team, and I've lived in Lincoln my whole life.
Okay, where have you gone to school? Elementary and middle?
I went to Freestrom, so I was a Falcon before I was a Northwest Falcon. And then I went to SCO, so I was a Skyhawk. So I've been a bird my whole life.
I like that. So not a lot of transition and change in your life then. Yeah. Okay. Just the colors a little bit.
Yep.
Slightly. Okay. Who's in your family? I want you to give some shout outs. Who makes up your group?
I got my parents, my sister, my grandparents, all of them are kind of the biggest inspirations in my life, the people I want to succeed for. So,
okay. Can you give us their names? Give us their names if you're allowed to call them by name.
my dad, Mike Hilgren, my mom, Enid Hilgren, and then Linda Hilgren and Al Hilgren, and then Liz Schrock, and then Al Schrock, who died a few years ago, but still remember him. So all them.
Fantastic. Still plays an important role in your life. And do you have any pets?
I got a dog named Boji. He's a Jack Russell Terrier. Just got him a few weeks ago.
Okay, Boji. There's another. I mean, Harris and I, we like the names, and we keep saying we're going to do like a board or something of names of pets. So Boji, we haven't heard that one. I like that.
No, that's better. I don't know why we were still lacking creativity. My dog's name forever is Casey.
Okay,
This is very vanilla, but great dog name nonetheless.
Boji and Hot Sauce. I want Hot Sauce to be the name of your next pet right there. All right, Peyton, what about you? Tell us a little bit about who you are, and have you always lived in Lincoln? And we want you to tell us a little bit about your family.
All right, my name is Peyton Bingham. I am a sophomore at Lincoln Northwest. I am on the bowling team, football team, do unified bowling, unified track.
Awesome. And have you always lived in Lincoln and gone to school?
No, actually, I haven't. I was born in Kansas City.
Okay.
Then I moved to Arkansas, and then I moved back to the Kansas City area. And I went to school in Missouri for 5 years, and then I transferred here to Lincoln.
Fantastic. And so you want to give a shout out to any of those schools or any people in any of the areas that, I mean, Harris and I like to joke. I told you all before that it's kind of it's a global show. So we'll probably have a Kansas City listener or two.
Yeah. I went to Scaife Elementary for 5 years. My favorite teacher, Miss Pogue.
Okay.
She's a great teacher. I had her for 2nd and 3rd grade. She said she wanted me for 3rd grade when she moved up. So I had her. And then I went to Arnold for my 5th grade year. And then I went to SCO for 3 years. And then now I'm in Northwest.
Fantastic. And family, who's in the family and who makes up your crew?
Yeah, so I have my mom, Alicia, and my stepdad, Doug Hank, and my older brother, Dylan, who lives in Florida, younger brother, Parker, and a younger brother, sister. Younger sister, Addie.
That's how we were going to just go with it. We were going to go with it. I saw your eyes were like, that perfect. Any pets?
Yeah, I have 3 dogs at home.
Okay, got to get names.
Bentley, Izzy, and Lola. We also call her Little Bit.
Okay, we'll roll with that. I like the little bit. Let's go with the little bit. that makes the list. That makes it in the top 10. So let's start with you. Tell us, like, if people see you, you said you're Northwest and you've moved around a little bit. What do people get from you just by looking at you? So if you're walking across the street, we got some people walking in front of us, and we see you out the window. What is something that we'd be like, okay, oh man, we see that in him, and we're like, okay, you'll probably get that just from my physical, my initial appearance.
Maybe I'm a friendly guy. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I just like to talk to people, like to make friends, and just like to be open and,
like that openness and like that approachability. Okay. What about you, Austin?
Not really sure. Maybe like, hopefully I just look relaxed most of the time. I try to just enjoy the moment in life. So hopefully people can kind of see that.
I love that chillness because, like I said, when you came in, you just got to have that stroll and just like, okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and make it. Whatever happens, you probably need that calmness. We'll get into bowling a little bit, but you probably, I'm gonna just ask you, you're not probably the hyper one when you're getting ready to go and just like bouncing from lane to lane. You're just like, dude, come on, take it down a notch.
Everybody, people listen to music. I got a friend who's got the big headphones that he listens to before the tournaments. I got my earbuds in. I'm listening to like sad stuff. I'm listening to like Smile by Morgan Wallen, like stuff like that. I'm trying to get as calm as possible,
Okay. You're somebody I could get down with, because when I got to warm up, you had to be like a junior or senior to get control of the warm up music or whatever else. And so I wanted Keith Sweat, like Boys to Men.
I'm gonna try that next time I golf. Some Morgan Wallen, the Smile.
Yeah.
Let me try that. Cool my nerves a little bit.
Love that. So what is something people need to engage with you and really spend some time getting to know you? Like you said, you talked about like just what you listen to, but like if they spent some days with you, they'd be like, okay, they're going to get this kind of insight about who I
am. I've gone through a lot kind of in high school because I was actually a basketball player my freshman year.
Okay.
And I ended up going to the bowling team my sophomore year. So that's obviously a huge transition in between what those, 2 sports, like what you have to work on and, what the mental approach is. So I feel like just I learned a lot of stuff from basketball that I still take into bowling today. I feel like that's the main stuff people could learn from me, is just how that is all gone.
I like that piece. Tell me, what is one of the things that crossed over? Because I don't think that's something that a lot of people would sit there and say basketball and bowling, there's a lot of similarities outside of like, let's just have a social.
Well, the main thing was in basketball, I watched a lot of Kobe Bryant interviews. He was a big inspiration for me and still is. And he would talk about, getting better every day. And, if you fail Monday, you just come back on Tuesday. So I took that into basketball. And then in bowling, I just try to get 1% better every day. And, as you improve, hopefully you can accomplish something.
I like that. I like that crossover. So thanks for sharing that. Peyton, what about you? What is something that we got to spend some real meaningful time with you for you to kind of say, show or give that, pour into somebody and say, okay, this is really who I am?
Probably just that. I care a lot about people. Even if they may not care a lot about me, or they may not think that I am a huge person in their life. Like, I really care about people, and I care about how they feel about me and what they care about. So I try to get to know people and just really care for those who are close to me.
I think that's a tremendous attribute. I mean, just like I said, you talked about caring for people, even if they don't care about you. And I don't think that's often, that's hard sometimes, and so how do you show that? I mean, what is one way that you show that, either you've been taught or either you've learned that, this is a piece of me that I give, whether it's a hug, whether it's just acknowledgement, a note. I mean, what is one action that's kind of part of your MO?
Probably just telling people that I'm there for them and that they can talk to me, and making sure that they know that they're loved, and that they can always have someone just to go to and someone to be there for them.
Cool. So, talk about a couple of your involvements. I mean, we'll get to the bowling piece kind of here in this next segment or whatever else, but I want to kind of start with you, Peyton. What are some of the things that you are or have been involved in kind of coming up elementary on and into where you're at now?
Well, I didn't do sports growing up, and
Okay.
it's actually been pretty difficult because a lot of people have had years to develop and get good at these sports. So I haven't really done much growing up, but
well, you're involved in different things. Yeah. I mean, it can be in school or out of school, not just sports. I know we're 93.7 The Ticket, but did you babysit or whatever? I mean, I'm just interested, just in general, what are some things you've been involved in? Did you do music?
When I was young, I did choir for about 6 months.
I love. Okay, choir for 6 months. Tell it a little bit on that story. Why just 6 months?
Okay, so
did you get kicked out? Or?
No, I liked it a lot, but there was one day I just did not want to go to practice. I did not want to dress up just to go to practice, so I quit.
But. Okay. So choir's on the Vita. What else? What else were you involved in?
Student council. I did that in elementary for the last year before I moved, and then I did it in middle school.
Okay.
I tried to do it this year, but didn't work out.
Okay. Sounds good. And what about you, Austin? What are some things you have been involved with? You talked a little bit about basketball, but what are some things elementary on up for 6 months or less?
Well, growing up, I played a lot of basketball, all the way up through freshman year of high school. And then I was involved in flag football, all through elementary school, had a lot of fun doing that. And then I've been in band ever since 5th grade. In 6th grade, I switched to tuba, and that's the instrument I've been playing since then.
Okay, like that. So as we go to break, I got to ask you this question. Harris and I are like the trade that just happened, the AD Luka trade. Thoughts on that? Good or bad?
Braun might get another ring.
Ooh, strong. Harrison. Harrison, we're gonna have to go to break. Right. We will discuss that during the break, but we'll be back with our second segment on 93.7 The Ticket, Bigger Than the Score with Pete Ferguson.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket. Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
High schooler in sports, or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Bryant at 402-467-1111 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-467-1111.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Davis Plumbing has been in business for over 15 years and is currently searching for journeyman plumbers to join their team. Experience is preferred, but not required for all applicants. When you join the team at Davis Plumbing, you'll receive full benefits package with paid time off. Join a small local business doing big things in Lincoln and surrounding areas. Apply today by calling 402-525-6922 or find them on social media. Davis Plumbing, locally owned and operated for over 15 years.
I'm softball player Jordy Ball, and I'm proud of my Nebraska roots, and I'm proud to be back home. And at Midwest Bank, they're proud to be your local community bank. They believe in family first, taking initiative, showing integrity, and rolling up their sleeves to support their local communities. They treat everyone like family, no matter where you're from. Whether you walk into a branch in York, Lincoln, Norfolk, or Pierce, you know you're going to be welcomed with a smile. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships, one with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America. Touching lives, securing futures.
Back to Bigger Than the Score with Peter Ferguson on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back to 93.7 The Ticket, Bigger Than the Score. This is Peter Ferguson BHS LLC, and joined on the ones and twos with Harrison on a really nice Sunday outside. Can't complain about that. So stay tuned with us for a full day of programming and shows. I know we got the YW hour. There was a couple switches and changes. So
yeah, the only switch and change. So if you guys are waiting for Inside the Huddle, don't worry. Me, Jay Foreman, we'll roll that one 12 to 1. If you want to listen to The Breeze, you can go back 8 a.m. DP, me, Haas. Everything after this programming stays the same. We'll be live all the way until 11 p.m.
Awesome. Fantastic. Well, hey, we have two individuals in-house. We've got Peyton and Austin. Both are scholars that attend Northwest High School, one of the newer high schools in the Lincoln, also kind of in the state, to be perfectly honest. And they were sharing with us just some of their insight, who they are, pets that they have, but also family members. And then Austin broke it down and said, LeBron's winning a championship with the Luka trade. So with his basketball insight, really appreciate that. So want to kind of continue just, as you all have developed, had experience, there's been a lot of situations where you've received advice from people. And so oftentimes we get scholars and we're always interested, just kind of that perspective that you've received, but also that you would give others. And so I want to start maybe with you, Austin. What is a piece of advice throughout, your lifetime so far that you've received that you have really taken to heart? I know you talked earlier about Kobe Bryant, but what is somebody that maybe just, has been an educator, a coach, a friend that you're like, man, yeah, this really resonates and I kind of want to share it with others?
There was one time I had been struggling, just couldn't really block out the noise just in general. And a wise man told me not to try to prove myself to my teammates, not to try to prove myself to my coaches, my family, or anybody like that. He said, do this and prove yourself to yourself and just get better in your own game. And that's something that really resonated with me.
I love how you talked about taking that internal and not trying to, give everybody else things, but also making sure that you're taken care of. What's one thing that you've done to do that, to prove things to yourself and not to everybody else? So for those that might be kind of like, yeah, that sounds great, but I just don't know how to do that.
I'm just very self-critical in general. Like, it doesn't matter how good things are going. If I make a mistake, I can sometimes get down on myself. So what I try to do is just focus more on making adjustments off of mistakes and not necessarily like criticizing yourself or, shutting down or anything like that.
I think those subtle adjustments. So I love that. And in the game of bowling, which we'll get to, like, you got to do, it can't be some major overhaul, I'm assuming. It's got to be subtle things. Peyton, what about you? What's a piece of advice that you've received that you've taken to heart and probably, like you said, okay, this means more each day, each year?
Probably to not let the small things bother me and stop being so critical of myself. Because joining sports so late, I felt like I was so behind, and then like even if I was improving, that I felt like I was still way far behind, but I was improving. And like my stepdad would always tell me, like, stop letting the small things bother you and just realize that you've made progress and that you've gotten better.
I like how you said that. I think sometimes we think the highlight's supposed to happen every moment, the high point. And, it's something too, when I talk with younger people, but also I have to remind myself, like, being at this isn't supposed to be the highlight. If it's the highlight, then like, why keep going? And so I think sometimes we want that the best moment to be, that time. I think about the Chiefs, and I'm not a Kansas City Chiefs fan, but I know you are. Look at you, had that smile on your face. Like, I know where you're from. That's why I didn't ask earlier. But I think they got one Super Bowl and they could have said, that's the highlight of my life. And no, if you get two, that's a pretty cool deal. If they happen to get three, like, how cool, like, if you're content and happy at that point, then why keep going? Why keep playing? Get as many as you want. So that Tom Brady, both people, I'm not like that uber fan, but I also recognize there was something that drove them, that there's other steps. So talk to me a little bit, both of you are involved in bowling, and talk to me a little bit just about, how you got into that. I mean, I was telling you out in the hall, for me, that's not something I was brought up with. I've probably been bowling about 10 times in my life. It's been a party or something like that. And so how did that culture of, I want to do this and I'm going to do this in high school, come to be? Peyton?
Okay, so I have always been involved with unified activities.
Okay.
Like, because my little sister growing up, I mean, she has spina bifida, so I've been around involved with kids with disabilities, and I think that's so important to make sure they feel involved and to participate in those types of things. So last year I tried to join Unified Bowling. I ended up not being able to, but this year I did join Unified Bowling, and I realized, like, okay, I really like this sport. And our team captain, JP, he was on the Unified Bowling team, and I was like, how do you bowl? How do you do that? and he taught me one time. Actually, the only practice that we had,
Okay.
because we only had two. It was a super short season.
Wow. Okay.
And he showed me how to do it, and so I learned how to bowl. And then I was like, okay, I really like this, so I just continued doing it.
So you said you kind of just learned from a couple of times, and then you ended up joining the high school team.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, what has that been like for you?
It's been a challenge. Like improving and learning new techniques and just figuring out how to bowl properly and how to all the things. It's been a challenge, but it's been really fun. And but teams made it a lot more fun than it probably would have been if I just tried to learn by myself.
Awesome. Awesome. Austin, what about you? You seem like you were a basketball player, football, and now you are looking at being a state championship bowler. How did that journey kind of take that path?
It started when I was like 8, and I didn't even know that the journey started then.
Wow.
But Sun Valley Lanes did a kids bowl free thing. So my parents would take us there on the weekends, and my dad had bowl leagues growing up, and I had never seen anyone like hook a bowling ball. Like I didn't.
So
I didn't know that.
explain that for those of us that may not know, because like I hook, I gutter, I throw. What's hooking a bowling ball?
It's you throw it, and they designed the ball to be able to do this, but what it does is it rotates at an angle so it can go from like the side of the lane into the pocket. It doesn't just go straight.
Okay.
It turns.
So it takes some skill.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it takes practice, but so I saw my dad doing that. And I honestly didn't know anything about like the PBA or any of these great bowlers. I just thought he was the greatest bowler to ever exist at the time when I first saw him doing that. And I told myself I wanted to one day be able to do that as good as he did. That was how it started. And then when I'm in 6th grade, my dad goes back to bowling leagues, and there was a youth league going on at the same time as the league he was in. So I did that for like a season, and then it conflicted with basketball. So I left. I played basketball all the way up, and then at like the end of my freshman year, when I was gonna go try to bowl. That was my plan once basketball, didn't work out. So I went back into league, and I just practiced a lot. And it's just been a lot of fun because a byproduct of basketball not working out is I get to go chase after what, the 8-year-old version of me would have wanted, which I never thought would have happened. And I didn't think much of it when I first, had that, dream, I guess you could call it, but it's been a lot of fun.
Well, and you are having some success. And so tell us about the bowling, I have to say even the culture at Northwest High School. So 3 years, I think school's been open 3 years.
Yep.
And now you are in the, I don't say EMAC, but the Class B conference with some really tough schools. I mean, it's probably just as competitive as many of the other, if not one of the most competitive conferences in the state. And you are having your districts on Monday.
Yep.
And you are one of the top rated teams. How has that come about for a school in its 3rd year? And how have you gone about and gotten members like Peyton saying, I've never really done this. And, I went from Unified and now I'm on the team and possibly going to be a state champion.
It's a lot of just people being in the right place at the right time. So my freshman year, I wasn't on the team, obviously, because I was playing basketball. But we had some people who were on the team then who have, worked a lot and improved a lot from there, and they're really good bowlers now. And then last year we had some people join. We had me, we had our team captain Jake joined as well, and he just works hard and improves a lot. So it's a lot of just hard work. And then obviously in those big games, it's tough, but you have to try to not put the other team on a pedestal because they've been doing it longer than you have or something. You have to just go in there and do your thing, and hopefully it's enough at the end of the day.
So Peyton, what is we talked a little bit about the culture, but the team dynamic, like what makes you all different from other teams that you've seen so far that says, you know what, this gives us an opportunity or gives us a little bit of an edge?
So probably just how close we are and like how connected we are as a team. Because I'll see some other teams where they don't get along, or there's certain members that like I don't know how to explain it, but I feel like our entire team, like I'll go to practice and I'll get advice from every single person on the team, like every single person, even if they don't bowl the same way as me, like Austin, like he can still give me advice. And I feel like it's it's that desire to improve and that desire to win that we all have, and that we all just want to help each other out.
So, your coach is here, and just I want you to talk a little bit about like what is he, what is an expectation, kind of a non-negotiable for your team and for members of your team to have. And so, knowing him, and he was real excited for you to have the opportunity. Like, what's something that he puts in place? Like, it's like, okay, we don't even have to think about this. We don't have to enforce it, because we know if somebody's coming into this space to be part of the Falcon bowling team, like this has got, they're these type of people. And so, Peyton, for you, what did you know if you were going to take on this, that you're like, okay, I can't act a fool. I can't not be somebody that takes advice or gives advice. What is something you knew coming into that space? And talk a little bit about him.
So I feel like a philosophy is like, it's just improving, and not getting down on yourself too. I know there was a practice where I got so overwhelmed. Everybody was just trying to help me out, and coach just let it, just like didn't step in, and just told me afterwards, like, hey, it can get overwhelming trying to learn all these techniques and stuff, and that if it's hard with everybody trying to help you out, just take one step at a time.
I like that.
Don't try to make huge improvements, because then you'll start messing up. You got to make small steps and just mess with small things at a time.
And so, Austin, you talked a little bit about that overlap from you coming to basketball, the football, and those type of things. Talk a little bit about the game. Like, what is a requirement if you're going to be like, us, Harrison and I going on Thursday or Saturday night, boy, what is the difference between like what you see at that time to like what you all are doing if we were to come and sit and watch you all during your competition on Monday? Like, what are the differences? The hook and all that other stuff.
Yeah, so obviously the technique's a lot different, but then the intensity of like when we're in a close match and somebody strikes, like we expect everybody to yell and get excited,
Okay.
We all like fist bump and stuff because, obviously effort is something that you need, but then another thing is just always being there for giving positive reinforcement to your teammates. We don't, get down on each other, or like get mad at each other and stuff when we mess up. Like we're always there for each other, and that helps us, get through like thick and thin. It doesn't win every game, but it's effective, and it gets us a lot of wins.
So talk about the mental aspect. I'm just kind of curious about what does that look like for you all coming in? I know you said, okay, I listened to Smile and I listened to, some mellow stuff. And then there's probably some people that maybe do AC/DC or whatever else. Like, what mental aspect does it have for you, for bowlers individually, but then also especially from a high school standpoint, for the team as a collective?
Well, it's tough mentally because, a sport like basketball or football, it's like the play starts and you are just like full of adrenaline and you are just running and like doing, your instincts kind of take over. Bowling, it's like you step up on the approach and it is just you. Like there's nobody playing defense. Like it is literally just you in the lane that you've been trying to figure out all day. And it's just up to you to put up that best shot. So it's important to be able to breathe and kind of calm your mind a little bit so that when you do get up there, you can execute.
I'm sitting there looking at Harrison and I'm thinking about everything that you're saying is stuff that we could take into us being right here today or also going into a classroom. And so really, really appreciate you on that. And so we're going to go to our last break, and then we're going to come back on our third segment. We're going to bring your coach in, and we got two other bowlers. We're just going to have them in here. And what we want to do is we want to make sure we do a love huddle. Okay. And you all are getting ready to go for championships on Monday. And we want you to give that team a pep talk and give the community a pep talk as well. So we'll be back on 93.7 The Ticket, Bigger Than the Score.
Shouldn't the landscape around your house reflect the architecture as well as the interior? Whether it's new construction or breathing life into an outdated landscape, let the teams at Tailored Landscapes, Tailored Lights, and Tailored Life combine as your local source for outdoor living. Schedule a meeting with one of our designers who listen during our consultations and combine your preferences, plus our experience to give you a timeless, sustainable, photo shoot-worthy landscape. Call us at 402-432-2572. Find us on any social media or at www.tailoredlandscapes.com, because when you find one company, you find the benefit of three.
If you're a veteran, our nation has created a wide range of benefits to thank you for your service, but it can be difficult to navigate the process of determining eligibility, filing claims, appealing decisions, and securing the benefits you've earned. Speak to your county veteran service officer or the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs State Service Office to see what's available to you and your family. These services are 100% free, so visit veterans.nebraska.gov today. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Sports Show! The 56th Annual Boat Sport and Travel Show is bigger and better than ever. January 31st to February 2nd at the Sand Hills Global Event Center in Lincoln. Don't miss it.
Sports Show!
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Bagels and Joe is the best place to start off your mornings, and you can order your breakfast ahead of time on their app. You can't go wrong with one of their great bagel sandwiches or breakfast burritos. Stop by any of their 4 locations in Lincoln or their location in Seward. Bagels and Joe.
Davis Plumbing has been in business for over 15 years and is currently searching for journeyman plumbers to join their team. Experience is preferred, but not required for all applicants. When you join the team at Davis Plumbing, you'll receive full benefits package with paid time off. Join a small local business doing big things in Lincoln and surrounding areas. Apply today by calling 402-525-6922 or find them on social media. Davis Plumbing, locally owned and operated for over 15 years.
M Suits Clothiers, Lincoln's favorite men's store. Family owned and operated, located 1 block south of 56th and Pine Lake Road. The end of season clearance is going on now with up to 50% off. Stop in now for best selection on sweaters, outerwear, suits, sport coat, dress pants, and dress shirts. M Suits Clothiers, your menswear store. M Suits Clothiers, Lincoln's favorite men's store. Family owned and operated, located 1 block south of 56th and Pine Lake Road. The end of season clearance is going on now with up to 50% off. Stop in now for best selection on sweaters, outerwear, suits, sport coat, dress pants, and dress shirts. M Suits Clothiers, your menswear store.
Back to Bigger Than the Score with Peter Ferguson on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back to 93.7 The Ticket, Bigger Than the Score. This is Peter Ferguson VHS LLC, and joined as always on the ones and twos with Harrison. This is our final segment, and so stay tuned to 93.7 The Ticket. As we know, we've got programming all the way till 11 o'clock with phenomenal scholar athletes, community programming. Sunday is one of the best days of the week. And then also just tune in during the week is there's been some slight adjustments, but still phenomenal individuals, the programming that you know, and leading up to the Super Bowl week, which once it's over, we can start concentrating again on the Cowboys. That's my Cowboys drop for the day. It's time to move on. As you can see, the studio is absolutely full. We wanted to bring in some other members of the Northwest bowling team, not only the men's side, but also the women's side. And so we've got those 2 scholar athletes. Quickly, give me your name. Addie and Ashlyn. So Addie and Ashlyn, we're going to probably have them on at another time, but they are eager and excited because they'll be chasing after some trophy stuff as well here this week. And then we got my man here. What's your name? Keegan? All right, Keegan. So Keegan, the coach's son. That's what. So Keegan was all excited. We wanted to make sure he had, but we also got their coach here from Northwest, and you've been listening to them these quickly. What have you heard, and what are you proud of? Not necessarily just of them, but also your team so far this year.
You know, the thing that I'm most proud about is the first week when I established the team. I did a grade check, and nobody was failing anything, and we've continued to have that on our team. We really push the student first, athlete second. But I make it a point to, if they need to miss a practice, like Peyton missed practice on Friday because he had a test to take, and that's fine. I hold nothing against him because of that. So we've had really good grades for our program, and it translates to success in the classroom and on the bowling alley.
So 3 words or one sentence. If people are going to ask about Northwest bowling, what are your 3 words or your one sentence?
Opportunity to succeed, both in and out of the classroom. We have a great team full of individuals, but a team. On Thursday during conference, we were kind of bowling as individuals, and we had to stop and bowl as a team, and we bowled extremely well as a team, not as individuals. And that's what I kind of promote is bowling's an individual sport, but also a team sport.
Like that. I think sometimes people don't really realize or recognize that aren't close to the game. So you all are going for your districts on Monday. And so Class B got a number of teams in that area. I said it's probably as tough of a district as is any district at any class in the state. And so I wanted to see Peyton and Austin. We do something called a love huddle. So we give them 30 seconds. They've got the group around them. They got to get their headphones off, not the music. You're going to give the message. You're going to get both teams, the men's and the women's team, hyped up, ready to go ahead and bring home success, championship, glory to Falconville. And so I'm going to start with you, Peyton. Go ahead. You got your 30 seconds. What are you telling the team? What are you telling the coaches? What are you telling the officials if they get all excited and want to join you? I'm not saying, hey, we'll pay you off, but
oh gosh. I don't know. That's actually
okay. Well, here we'll go.
difficult.
Austin, go ahead. I want to. What do you got? What do you got? I know you have a captain, but you're not taking over the role. But you're just giving your speech, okay? Because you're like, dude, I don't want to upset the captain, dude. All right.
All right, guys, it's going to be a great day today. Just remember, when we get out there, let's relax, let's breathe, let's remember to have fun. You know, there's no moment that is too big for us. We've already accomplished a lot this year, and our biggest accomplishment is the fact that we've come together as a team and we've been able to do all this together. And what we do today, we are going to do together as well. Be willing to forgive yourself. We're going to adjust to the lanes, help each other out, be there for each other, bowl good, and have fun.
Man.
Gonna give James Winston a run for his money on his pregame speeches.
I was waiting for you to go ahead and do the dance. All right, Keegan, I'm putting you on the spot. All right, here, your speech to him. Your speech to him on Monday, right here.
I would just say to have fun and don't worry about what's gonna happen. Just worry about what you're gonna do, and yeah, just have fun.
Ah, the man, you heard it from. All right, Peyton, go ahead.
All right. Come on, team. We've succeeded before. We know we deserve to be here. We know we can succeed. So let's have fun. Let's go out there. Stop harping on ourselves. Don't let those little mistakes bother you. Let's go get a win.
Awesome. I like that. So as we get ready to close, just piece of advice that you have for the just general community, something you learned from bowling, piece of advice, Peyton, that you have for just the general community moving forward.
Just learn to improve and take it one step at a time.
Like that, Austin.
Just be yourself, and whatever you're doing, just make sure you value improvement over accomplishments.
Fantastic. Hey, I want to wish all of y'all, men's, women's team, coach, Keegan, want to wish you the best of luck on Monday, bringing it home to Northwest, and we'll be cheering for you. So join us next week, 93.7 The Ticket, bigger than the score.